Hey everybody, it's Joanne Muse of the Tax Lien Lady, and we are live on Facebook, on my Facebook page. And this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where you get me to answer your questions about investing in tax liens or tax deeds. So say hello as you come on, because I'm not actually on Facebook. I'm doing this from StreamYard. I find it just easier to work with. But I can see your comments on Facebook. Hi, Ray. Good to see you. And let me know, say hello. Let me know where you're from when you come on so that I know how to best answer your questions, because tax lien and tax deed investing is different in every state, especially tax lien investing. It can be incredibly different in different states. In some states, it's different in different counties, okay? Like Maryland, for instance. Most of the rules are the same, but each county in Maryland has a different interest rate, okay? And it can be so different, anywhere from 6% to 20%, right? So I need to know what state you're in when you ask me your question, or which state you're asking about, okay? I also want to let you know that our next coaching call, I do a call twice a week for coaching clients. And our next call is tomorrow night. It's Wednesday night at 7:30. And the kind of things that I talk about in these coaching calls, it's a little bit different than this, because I actually show my screen and show my coaching clients what to do. And just to let you know, like some of the things that we do in coaching, I have a couple of coaching clients right now in New Jersey. I have one that's been with me for a few months, and she's developing a nice portfolio of New Jersey tax liens, and now she's going out into other states and buying liens in other states. But she is actually selling two of her liens to another New Jersey client who is new to buying tax liens in New Jersey. So this is something I'll be helping them both with tomorrow night. So if you're interested in becoming a coaching client, you can let me know. If you want to get in on tomorrow night's call, though, you really have to do it soon. Let me know if you want to get in on tomorrow night's call, because you'd have to jump in right away. But you can always fill out the form at taxlienlady.com mentoring-application, and Nicole can put that in. And thank you for being here with us, Nicole. Nicole can put that link in. So if you want to have a 30-minute profit planning session with me to determine if that's a good fit for you, if the coaching is a good fit for you or not. And I suggest that you have money to invest if you want to do coaching with me, because coaching's not free. And if you're going to pay for coaching, you want to make sure that you have the money to invest. So, and the thing about it is that you're going to make money from the money that you invest, and you'll be able to do it over and over again, even after you coach with me. All right. Nicole has put that link in there for you. And for those of you who saw the post that I had today about my mom, thank you very much for your condolences. I will tell you that I am in a really good place. I have, let me just take a minute and tell you about this. I've read a lot of books on, I have a lot of faith to begin with. I happen to be Catholic, but I don't think it matters, what religion you are, if you believe in God, and particularly, I believe in Jesus Christ. But anyhow, I've read a lot of books from people of different faiths who have had near-death experiences. That's where they actually die and go to heaven and come back. They've actually been dead for a certain amount of times. Now, these books, some of them are written by physicians, by very learned people. These, not a couple of them were written by pastors. The one that I just read and I wrote about this in the January issue of my Tax Lien Tips newsletter. And if you guys don't get if you're on my list, you get my tax lien tips newsletter. If you're not on my list and you want to get the newsletter and all the other stuff that I send out, I believe you could get it at taxlientipsnewsletter.com. You could sign up for it there. And thank you everybody for your condolences. But I know without a doubt that where my mom is, that she's not just in a better place, she's in the best place. And anybody that has died and gone to heaven has not wanted to come back. The people that have, of course, we don't know what with the people that didn't, but the people that have come back, they did not want to come back. As a matter of fact, a couple of them went through depression after they came back because they didn't want to leave. But they had work to do here, important work to do here. So basically they got kicked out for a little while. We're all pilgrims here. This is not our home. And we are all going to die sometime, and it's part of life. So I'm going to miss my mom. I have 5 brothers and sisters and my dad. And she has a brother and sister, and we're all going to miss her. But I have this joy, and I'm so happy for her because I know where she is now. Okay, so now let me get to answering your questions. Okay, and thank you, Ray, for your comment about your place that you bought in Texas. Texas, by the way, is a great state to do redeemable deed investing. Yeah, and you're having a tough time with getting tax liens and tax deeds now, Ray. You come to all these Facebook lives that I do, and a lot of the free stuff that I do, but here's what you need to do. My coaching clients are having good results. They are getting liens. So I really recommend that to you if you're serious. Okay, let's see what else we have here. And Nicole, did we get any questions ahead of time for our Facebook Live today? I know that we have questions that I'll be answering tomorrow in our coaching session. But for the people here, for the Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, did we get any questions? I've kind of been out of it for the last 2 weeks. And if you've read my email and my blog post, you guys that have read that, you know why. But we didn't get any questions ahead of time. And we actually postponed. This was supposed to be last week because I do this the second and third Tuesday of the month. But I postponed it. Last week, we were supposed to do this last week, and I postponed it to this week. Okay, so we got no questions ahead of time. So, okay, you guys, shoot, give me your questions. I'm here to answer them. What are your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds? Okay. And if you want to know what's going on right now, let me tell you something else. The National Tax Lien Association is having their conference in Hollywood, Florida, March 9th through the 11th, and I will be there. This is my first time going to their conference. They are a nonprofit organization for tax lien investors, mainly for the institutional guys, but they are starting to reach out to individual investors as well. It's kind of pricey to be a member, which is why I haven't become a member yet, but they are a good organization. What they do is good, and they actually have a fund for veterans who are losing their property because of tax liens or tax deeds because of delinquent taxes. So they do good. And thank you, Gabby and Lawrence and Devlina, everybody, thank you everybody for your condolences. And if you weren't on in the beginning, I suggest you watch the replay of this on Facebook because I spoke a little bit about my mom and why I have such joy and peace. Okay. But you guys have got to give me your questions, right? I mean, why do you come here if you don't have questions, right? You got to have questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds. Anyway, I was saying I will be this is my first time going to the conference of the National Tax Lien Association, not to be confused with the U.S. Tax Lien Association, which is not an association at all. They are a business. They are a for-profit business. This is the National Tax Lien Association is a real nonprofit association for tax lien investors, for the industry. Okay. Yes, I am coming to Florida, Gabby. I will be in Hollywood just for the conference. And then I will be leaving the last day of the conference. And I have a tax sale the day before the conference, so I can't leave until the day it starts. So I might be getting there a little late the day it starts, and I'll be leaving the day it's done. So a real short visit to Hollywood, Florida. Yeah, Gabby, I'd love to meet you, but because I'm getting there like just in time for the conference and leaving when it's over, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. And where are you located? Are you close to the venue in Hollywood? It's in Hollywood Beach, I think. Okay. So you want to know about tax sales in Kentucky? What specifically do you want to know? Okay, you're in Fort Lauderdale, which is not far, but I won't have a car when I'm there either. So that's the other thing. I'll tell you what, if you'd like to spend some time with me, you can pick me up in the airport and bring me to where I'm staying. I'm not staying in the hotel where the conference is because it's ridiculous. The price is ridiculous. And I found a nearby place where I could walk to the hotel at like half the price. Okay. Nicole is telling me that Philip's asking, can I elaborate on all the sales in Indiana? Sheriff, commissioner, tax sales. Okay. I cannot elaborate on the sheriff sales because that is not something that I do, but I can tell you about the tax sales and the commissioner sales because they are both tax sales. The tax sales, the regular tax lien sales happen in the fall. Some of them are online, and you could find information about them on a website called SRI Auctions. Actually, I think you could go to SRI. I don't think SRI Auctions, they've changed it. But if you go to sriservices.com, okay, that's where you could find out about the Indiana tax sales. They usually, it's a very hard to navigate site. They keep changing the site and making it better looking, and now it's hard to navigate. It used to be really easy to find what you were looking for, and now it's not. But the sales that are online are on a site called ZeusAuction.com. So anyway, the sales happen in the fall in Indiana, and that whatever doesn't get sold in the sales in the fall gets certified to the commissioner. And the commissioner then has a sale. The commissioner's sale is in the spring. So these sales are starting to happen now. Most of them are live, but there are 3 of them that are online. Last year, there were more that were online, but they like to do their sales live in Indiana, okay? And what happens in the commissioner sales is they lower the starting bid, because in Indiana, they don't bid down the interest rate, they bid up the price of the lien. It's called premium. They bid premium for the lien. Okay. Most of the sales that are online are on Zeus Auction. There might be one or two that are on a different website, but most of them are on there. And here's the thing, that if you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator or one of my coaching clients, you get access to Tax Sale Finders, which lets you know about all the sales that are coming up all over the country and where they're held. Okay. The sheriff sales, you'll also find the sheriff sales on ZeusAuction.com, but I can't even pronounce it now, right? Sheriff sales are mortgage foreclosure sales. So I really don't know anything about those. Okay. All right, Gabby, we will have to be in touch. And and Gabby, did you private message me today? I don't check my Facebook messages that often, but I know if you private messaged me today, then you could private message me where to get in touch with you, and give me an email, and I can give you my information about when I'll be coming in. I know I'll be coming in on the 9th, and I won't be going directly to the hotel. I'll be going to where I'm staying, the hotel where I'm staying, and then I'll be going to the conference. So you could be my chauffeur and pick my brain. Okay. All right. Bye, Gabby. Okay. And hi, Barry from Oklahoma City. Oklahoma is a deed state, by the way. Years and years ago, they used to be a lien state, but I forget when they switched over to a deed state. Ever since, now I've been doing this since 2002, and they were a deed state, I think, then. Hi, Yvette. Tax lien certificates, could you talk about what? I mean, I always talk about tax lien certificates. What do you want to know? That's a really big topic. I could spend a month talking about that. So you got to tell me, Yvette, where you want to know. Tell me where you're from, Yvette. What do you want to know about tax lien certificates? Okay, where do you find the commissioner sales? I already answered that, Nicole. And let me see who, Philip had asked that. Where do you find the commissioner sales? Yeah, so watch the replay. It's going to be here. Not only will it be here on Facebook, but if you're not on Facebook, and Nicole gave me that from somebody who's not presently here, this will be posted on YouTube, because I know there's people that don't want to be on Facebook. I don't blame you. If I didn't have a business, I wouldn't be on Facebook either. All right. All right, Yvette, they don't do tax lien certificates in California, just so that you know. California is a deed state. They actually sell the property. So, and if you want to know about tax lien certificates, you have to tell me which state you want to know about and what you want to know, okay? Because it's very different in every state. And Barry says, even though Oklahoma is a deed state, could you receive tax lien certificates in Oklahoma? Not that I know of. I tell you, I don't do much in Oklahoma at all. I don't do anything in Oklahoma at all. I mean, I do research for Oklahoma. It's in my state guide, but I haven't invested in Oklahoma. Years ago, they were a lien state, and they switched over to selling deeds. And in most deed states, you cannot get a tax lien certificate. Okay. So as far as I know, you cannot in Oklahoma. However, Oklahoma is right next to states that do sell liens. Oklahoma City, Kansas is also a deed state. So Barry, give me some states that are around Oklahoma that you'd be interested in, and I could tell you what happens there. Dennis is asking, and Dennis, by the way, Dennis is one of my coaching clients, and Dennis, I know you have questions for me for tomorrow night for our coaching session there, where I can actually go into detail, and I will cover those there, not here. What are those deed sales in Penns Grove, New Jersey? Are they auctions of the actual properties? Well, here's what happens in New Jersey. New Jersey is a lien state. So most of the sales in New Jersey are lien sales. They're selling the liens. So what happens is every once in a while, because if anything doesn't sell at the lien sale in New Jersey, it goes to the municipality. In New Jersey, by the way, all the sales are done by the municipality, not the county. And it's the same way in most of the New England states, okay? So if it doesn't get sold in the sale, it's struck off to the municipality. And eventually the municipality might sell the property. And by the way, they can foreclose on it in a few months. They don't have to wait the 2-year redemption period. I think they can foreclose in 6 months, and then they'll sell the deed, they'll sell the property. Okay, Barry, Texas is a redeemable deed state. It's a great place to invest. It is very competitive because it is a 25% penalty in Texas every 6 months for the first year. And the redemption period is only 6 months for non-homesteaded properties. So Texas is a competitive state, but it is a very good redeemable deed state. Arkansas, not so much. That's another deed state, I believe. I don't go around with all this information in my head. It is all in my state guide, which members of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator have access to. And actually, you could get that guide for free. If you go to the website taxlienlady.com/membership, which tells you about what is in the membership, but at the bottom of that page, there is a link to download my state guide. Okay. And Nicole, you could put that in for everybody. And Nicole has also put in her email if you guys have questions. Okay. Yeah, so anything that is a deed sale in New Jersey doesn't happen that often, but every once in a while, Dennis, they do have a deed sale of the stuff that the municipality has taken. Okay. All right. Am I caught up on the questions already, Nicole? And Nicole just put in that link for you, anybody that wants to get my state guide and find out about membership. Okay. On that page, it tells you everything that you get with membership and the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. By the way, anybody that does coaching with me gets that membership as part of the coaching. It comes with the coaching, but you don't have to do the coaching to get the membership. Okay. And I'm all caught up with the questions. So unless you guys have more questions, oh, okay. I see one from Yvette. What about Arizona? What about Arizona? What do you want to know? And Yvette, you're the one who asked me about tax lien certificates, right? But that is so broad. So Arizona does sell tax lien certificates. They also sell deeds too. And same thing, anything that doesn't sell in the tax lien sales goes to the county in Arizona, and eventually they will have deed sales. But Arizona is a lien state, and they do their sales in February. They're just about done. I think there was one more county, Pima County, that's still having their sale. I don't know if it ends today. I forget what day, or I know it ends sometime this week, but they just had their tax sales and things got bid down very low. As a matter of fact, I usually send a message out on Saturdays. I didn't do it last Saturday, but I did send a message out this Saturday on, on a particular topic. And what I talked about this Saturday was why people bid down to zero in Arizona, because it doesn't make any sense. Arizona was very competitive, and in Maricopa, when I looked at the results from the Maricopa County tax sale, more than 50% got bid down to zero. And that's not good, because there's no reason to bid down to zero in Arizona. There's only two reasons that I could think of. And a lot of the big investors, big hedge funds bid down to zero. And my only thought of their reason for doing it is that they're getting such volume that maybe they're going to get some of those properties. Although, it's only about less than 1% that you actually get to foreclose on. But because they're buying thousands of liens, they might get some. And so it might make sense, but it's not worth it for the individual investor, definitely not. The only other reason I could see for people bidding zero is that they bid zero because it's a proxy bid situation in these online sales. Okay, so I know some of you are thinking, what's a proxy bid? Well, a direct bid means if I bid, let's say I bid $100 and you bid $200, and the bidding increment is $1. All right, so in other words, you could bid $99 or $100 or $101, but let's say I bid $100 and somebody bids $200. Well, in a direct bid situation, the person that bid $200 is going to get the bid at $200, all right? But in a proxy bid situation, the person that bid $200 is going to win the bid at $101. Okay, so because it's a proxy bid situation, people are bidding zero, thinking that they'll just get the lowest bid. They'll get it at 1%. But so many people bid zero or even 1%. If anybody else bids 1%, you're going to get it at zero. It's not worth it because there's no penalty. You don't get any interest. You actually have to pay money to get the lien in Arizona. You pay the county $10. It's built into the price of the lien. And you pay the online bidding platform. If you're doing this online, you're paying them between $5 and $10. So you're actually paying money. And then if you do pay any of the subsequent taxes, you're only going to get what you bid at the sale. So really not a good thing. Arizona is not one of my favorite states to bid in because of the way they do the bidding and because they nickel and dime you for everything in Arizona. So that being said, I still had coaching clients that were bidding in Arizona, and what I advised them is to pick on things that other people don't want so much, like land, buildable land that's still valuable, and only bigger liens, so that they're not paying out too much money. Because if you buy small liens in Arizona, you can wind up losing money on your liens. Okay. All right. So any more questions? And is there anything that I missed, Nicole? And thank you for being here, Nicole. You are such a big help. I don't know if I get to tell you that all the time, but you are. Okay. All All right. And is there anything else? Anything else? Because if you guys don't have more questions, it's no fun to stay here. Okay. Thanks, Nicole. All right. Well, I did see something here from Philip. Let me go back. Okay. So I have to join your systems for you to tell me where to look up commissioner sales in Indiana. Ha ha ha. No, that's not true, Philip. I told you. All you have to do is listen to the replay. I told you where to find the online sales in Indiana. There's like only 3 commissioner sales online, and they're all on Zeus auction. And that's the second time I said that, okay? You guys got to pay attention. Forgive me for being bold. All right, Emma says, when you say land for tax liens, how do I find those? Well, on some sites make it easy. For my coaching clients, I make it real easy. I have a software that does it, okay? But for everybody else, some sites make it easy. Some of the online sites, like Real Auction. Real Auction, if you register for the sale and you put a deposit, you could do a search, and you could search by property type and just look at those properties. Some sites don't make it that easy. You actually have to click on each property and find out, and that's like Zeus Auction. They don't have like an easy way to do that. But what my coaching clients do, and my members, we use something called tax sale finders. Not only can you find out what tax sales are coming up around the country and where they are, but you can also look at the properties in the sale and filter the list. So you could filter the list first and then look at the properties in the sale. But every time you actually, click on a property and get the property report and look at the property, you use up one of your property reports. Now, members of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator get 15 property reports a month, okay, with their membership with me. Besides all the training that's in the members area, they also get access to all my workshops. We just did a workshop beginning of this month. Okay, we had a 2-day workshop. Members, it was a $197 workshop. Members get in for free. Okay, plus they get access to a lot of my courses. Plus they get tax sale finders, and they get 15 property reports a month for free. Coaching clients get 50 property reports a month for free. And that's not all that's in there too. There's a wealth of information in tax sale finders, plus what they get from me. So it's really a big help. It really helps me, especially now that I am the manager of a tax lien fund. It helps my team. That helps me pick the properties that the fund is going to invest in. It helps us to be able to do it quickly, okay, for the sales that we go to. So it's really a big help. So Emma, did that answer your question about how to find the land? And it's not always land. What we do, here's some like insider information. What we do for the fund that I invest in is I have a team that analyzes past tax sales. And we see what types of properties we have a better chance at getting at a better rate. Now, what I do with my coaching clients is I teach them how to look at the results of past tax sales. And we kind of do the same thing. We look at results of past tax sales, and we try to find what is not bid on as competitively. And those are the type of properties that we'll target. Particularly, I like farms and I like buildable land. I also like very distressed properties. very distressed buildings and houses. Okay. Any other questions? And again, you guys got to forgive me for being short and bold. But there's no other way for me to answer all the questions. I have to set some expectations for you when you come on these calls. And my expectations for you is that you're going to be the questions that you ask are going to be specific. I need specific questions in order for me to answer them, and I need to know what state you're in or what state you're asking about, because it's so different in every state. And I don't want to repeat myself so that I can get to everybody's question. So if I do answer your question and you miss it, then just the replay's here when we're done, and it is also going to be on YouTube. So, okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Want to make sure I get to, and I'm just going to look through the comments here to see if I've missed anything. And I don't think I have. I think I've got. I think I've answered all the questions that we got earlier. And if you guys have any more questions, and Gabby, did you have a question about Kentucky? Oh, Gabby had to leave. I'm sorry. But just in case she did have a question about Kentucky, Kentucky is a lien state. You do, if you're gonna spend more than $10,000 in Kentucky or buy more than 3 liens, you have to register with the state. And they have a different way of doing tax sales in Kentucky. I'll just leave it at that. And then when I talk to Gabby, I can fill her in. Okay. Emma says she's in Maryland, finding that tax sales are wanting more money. Oh, Maryland's a different animal, Emma. I have found that dealing with Maryland is difficult to navigate. First of all, let me ask you where in Maryland are you investing? And let me caution you, stay out of Baltimore. Number 1, stay out of Baltimore. A lot of red tape, very hard to deal with. But Baltimore County is okay. Just stay out of Baltimore City. Howard County, okay. Each of the counties have a different interest rate, and here's the thing about Baltimore, because they bid premium on liens, and premium is an amount over and above the lien amount that investors are willing to pay to get it. But in Maryland, you don't have to pay all the premium at the sale. I forget how it works in Howard County, but most of the counties you have to pay high bid premium. There's 1 or 2 counties where you don't have to pay the premium at all until the property doesn't redeem and you get to foreclose, and then you have to pay all the premium. Now that sounds good, right? But it's not. And it's not good because people pay so much premium. They'll bid so much premium because they don't have to pay it there at the sale. They only have to pay it if the lien doesn't redeem and they get to foreclose on the property. Because of that, it makes it very hard in Maryland to get something good. So yeah, Baltimore, just go anywhere else but Baltimore, Emma. And try the smaller counties that don't have a lot available, and you'll probably have more luck there than the bigger counties. Although Baltimore County, I think, is good. Yeah, Anne Arundel and Prince George's County. it might be Prince George's County. They have a really high return. Their interest rate is really high. So also you might want to stay out of the counties that have like a 18 or 20% return because they're going to be really competitive. Frederick County has like a 6% return. So that would probably be better. Not as much competition. I forget what Howard County has. Yeah. And here's the thing, Emma, you don't know until you actually go to the tax sales. You just have to go to the tax sales and see what they're like. A lot of them in Maryland are online too. So you don't even have to go in person, you can do them online. But if it's anything like New Jersey, you're better off going to the live sales than the online sales. Okay, great. Emma, I hope that I've answered your questions, and thank you for those questions. It makes it more fun. The more the merrier, the more questions I have, the more fun it is for me. Okay. So anyway, that's why people bid so much in Maryland, because they don't actually have to come up with it at the sale. High bid premium is, there's a formula for it. And most of the counties will tell you what that is, but basically it's when you bid over 40% of the assessed value, it's the difference between what you bid and 40% of the assessed value. It's 20% of that difference, and that's high bid premium, and that's what you have to pay at most of the tax sales in Maryland. Okay, how is North Carolina for tax sales? North Carolina is a deed state, so if you like actually buying the property, and it's a little bit complicated, there's not a lot available. But it's also not as competitive because it's a little tough. You put the bid on the property and then you have to wait 10 days and see if anybody outbids you. Okay, but you're actually bidding for the property. You need more money in North Carolina. But probably not as much as Maryland. Although remember, in Maryland, you don't need the money at the sale. You need it if you actually get to foreclose on the property. The bulk of the money, you still have to pay for the lien and the high bid premium at the sale in Maryland. Okay, Sarav, hello. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma County held OTC. Any recommendations? Most of them are vacant lands. Any risk involved? I suggest that you listen to the replay. I talked about Oklahoma in the beginning. I don't recommend Oklahoma. It is a deed state. Any tax liens in Oklahoma would be over the counter. They would be owned by the city or the county. I don't, anybody that says they're an expert everywhere in the country is not telling you the truth. I am not an expert in Oklahoma. Oklahoma stopped doing liens before I started investing in liens back in 2002. Okay. So they haven't done liens for 20 years. They're a deed state. And I'm being totally honest with you, I don't know that much about Oklahoma. There are deed states I know a lot about, and then I've helped investors buy stuff in, like Florida, which is also a lien state, Michigan, which is a deed state, here in Pennsylvania, the deed state, California, deed state. I've looked into in depth in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, all deed states, and there's a lot more of them. But Oklahoma, there's some states that just aren't really that desirable, and Oklahoma's one of those states. But hey, do the investigation yourself, and you might prove me wrong, right? You don't know what you don't know, me included. Okay. All right, so this is last call. We're almost at the 45-minute mark. This has been a great call. I've gotten so many good questions. It's been great, so thank you, everybody that's here. that has submitted your questions. And this is last call for questions. So type it real fast in the comments so that I can answer it for you. And if you missed the beginning, I highly recommend that you watch it. The replay is going to be here as soon as we're done. And then eventually it will be over in YouTube also. So anything else, Nicole? Do we have anything else to answer before we wrap it up? Cliff, hi. Florida tax, ooh, okay. Yeah, Barry, look into that as well. The county held certificates in, here's the thing, guys, I do not do OTC liens or deeds. Most of them are junk properties. You know, there's some tax lien investing gurus that'll say, oh, sales are so competitive, don't go to this sale. There's so much left over. Just get the leftover stuff and get the maximum rate, or get it for the lowest, amount. But, sales are so competitive that there is nothing good left over anymore. And there are people that do that and they make money on it, but there's a way to do it properly. And it is not for the faint of heart. It is not a good thing for new investors. The best way to get over-the-counter liens is to be at the sale and know what gets left over and buy it up immediately. Because you think the tax sales are competitive. The OTC liens and deeds are just as competitive, and all the good stuff has been bought. Every once in a while, something slides in there because somebody couldn't pay for it, but it gets bought up immediately. Anything that's been sitting on there is junk. And if you want to spend all your time going through a lot of junk properties, it's basically a waste of time. Go right ahead. Not me. And that's not what I teach my clients to do. Okay, back to Cliff. Florida tax lien portion, why bid down to zero? Oh, Florida does not get bid down to zero. It doesn't make sense to bid down to zero. But if you're going to be successful in Florida, you got to bid down to 0.25%. Okay. Why 0.25? I mean, on properties that, on houses. You could get land at decent interest rates, but anything with a house on it is going to go at 0.25%. There is a reason for that, and it makes a lot more sense than bidding zero in Arizona, or even bidding 1% in Arizona, because in Florida, you get a penalty instead of the interest rate. If the interest is less than 5%, you get the 5% penalty instead. So you're going to get the 5% penalty. And if it doesn't redeem in 2 years, you get to pay all the outstanding taxes. You have to redeem all the other outstanding liens and pay any other subsequent taxes. And everything's going to roll up at 18% when you do the tax deed application, because in Florida, if it doesn't redeem after the 2-year redemption period is over, you don't get to foreclose like you do in other states. You apply for it to go into a tax deed sale. And while it's, in the process of going through that, once you do that application, everything starts accruing at 18%. So it's worth it in Florida. Okay. We got a lot of last minute questions here. Desirable deeds buying states. Sorav, I like Michigan, Pennsylvania, some parts of Pennsylvania. That's all I could think of right off the top of my head. Florida. Florida's very competitive though. And you know what? Indiana is a lien state. They also do deeds, and so does Illinois. I haven't bought there, but they do deeds as well. I've helped clients in in Michigan, buy liens and deeds in Michigan and here in Pennsylvania. Also some really good redeemable deed states, South Carolina, Tennessee, and I mentioned Texas already for redeemable deeds. Okay. Hey, Jonathan. From Canada, question, what is the lowest tax lien you could buy? What do you mean lowest tax lien? Lowest in price? Oh my gosh, my first lien was like $40, $42. In New Jersey, they sell utilities along with taxes in their sales, and you could today it's a little bit more, but any amount that wasn't like there could have been a penalty that wasn't paid, and that can go into the tax. I still see liens for like $40. Okay, that was a question from YouTube. All right. Yeah, you could buy tax liens for almost any amount. I just told you about one of the lowest ones that I bought. I also bought liens for like $20,000, and so and there's liens for more than that that I didn't have the money to buy. So any amount you could buy liens for, any amount. All right, everybody, that's all we have time for today. I will see you the second Tuesday of March. Let me just check my calendar here. Before I go off to the National Tax Lien Association, let me see, let me go to March here. I don't know why I'm looking at January. Okay. All right. Yeah, the second Tuesday of March. Oh, you know what? We are not going to have anything the second Tuesday of March because I will be at a tax sale that day. So we're not going to do the Facebook Live that day. Nicole, would you make a note of that? So what we're going to do for March is I will let you guys know we're probably going to do like we did this month. We'll do the 3rd and 4th Tuesday of March. So I'll see you next month on March 15th. We'll do the 15th and the 22nd. The 8th, I have a tax sale, and the 9th through the 11th, I will be at the National Tax Lien Association Conference down in Hollywood, Florida. But I will be doing the coaching call next month from down there. Not the coaching call, I'm sorry, the wealth building webinar. The coaching call is actually the week before that. But the wealth building webinar is 7:30 in the evening, and I'll be doing the webinar from the National Tax Lien Association Conference. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's been fun. We'll see you then. Bye.